Hey there you guys, Vertigo here, and today I'm going to be showing you what my P3D settings are, basically the tweaks I have, if you will, to get my sim looking the way it does. I know a lot of you have been asking about this, so I am bringing that to you today. It's really not that complicated, so let's get started. First things first, we'll start with PTA. Now, most of you know about PTA. Here it is. I'll bring up Chrome. If you just Google PTA prepared, you'll find it. You can read about it yourself. I don't want to go into too much detail, but basically it allows you to tweak shaders and various visual effects within prepared. If you download this, it'll be under downloads. I'm not quite sure precisely where it is because I haven't downloaded this in forever, but I'm sure if you go downloads, let's see what we have here. Yeah, and then you can download the latest version right here. Once you download that, you will have a zip, I believe. In fact, I can do this right now. Yeah, you have a pta.zip. I'm not going to finish downloading this, but essentially you'll unzip that, and what you end up with is a subfolder that looks like so. Now, these .inis are just setting presets for the actual application, which is here. So you open PTA. Now, I'm not using anything fancy. What I'm using is I am using a preset. I've not really tweaked anything myself. Now, all the credit for this preset goes to this fellow. I will include the link here. His name is Adam. I'm not sure if I know his last name. I believe he's from New Zealand. Correct me if I'm wrong. He may see this video himself. But anyway, Adam has thrown together presets, and they look absolutely stunning. You can see he has a lot of screenshots here. So what you do to get this is you click download, and it'll jump you down to the bottom of the page, and he has download links for all his presets. I'm using 21.01, which is the latest version as of February 5th. So if you just click that and download, which I already have done, and go to your downloads folder, you can open this up. I believe it comes with a readme. It does. All I've done is take this .ini, Adam_PTA 20_10, and drag that to my PTA folder. And here it is. And then when you run PTA, if you go to actions, preset, open, and then it'll open the PTA directory, and you'll just find that particular preset, Adam_PTA blah 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 20_10, and you click that and open it, and then go actions and click apply preset. That's all you have to do for on the PTA front. Now, if for some reason you are having issues applying the preset, if you're getting errors below, that means that your shader integrity, the shaders in your simulator, are not the default ones. They have been modified before. So you will need to restore your default shaders. The best way to do that is to do a kind of a quick uninstall, and I can show you very quickly. Well, I won't bother. Essentially, if you've changed your shaders, hopefully you've had them backed up. If you do not have them backed up, you can do an abbreviated reinstall without having to reinstall the entire simulator. Basically, if you reinstall the client and content, so if you go to your control panel, uninstall programs, and remove prepared client and content, and then reinstall just those separate pieces of software instead of the entire simulator, that will reset your shaders without removing your airport scenery and your custom aircraft, etc., etc. If a lot of you have issues with that, feel free to post in the comments, and maybe I will make like a 90-second video detailing how to do that specifically, but hopefully that won't be too much of an issue with you guys, and if it is, I would hope that you can sort it out. Again, though, if that comes up, feel free to ask. Ideally, though, your shaders would be backed up, I would hope, although we've probably all been there before, where we need a backup of something that we don't have. At any rate, moving on from PTA, let's go to the sun textures I'm using. So these are ones specifically recommended by Yuri, who created PTA, the tool. These are Navid's textures. So I will include this link, but if you go to navid.se/texture.html, or is that a backslash? I think that's a backslash. At any rate, if you go to texture, you'll see his his sun, not sky, sun and moon textures, and you download these. You can click more, and then you'll see he has screenshots of them, and then there's a download link. Once you've downloaded those, which again, these are already installed into my sim, so I'm not going to do anything. Once you've downloaded those, if you go to here's a README here, which explains how to install. Essentially what you're going to do is in the subfolder sun_textures, you're going to drag these into the texture folder in your P3D directory. And you're going to drag and drop this suneffect.cfg directly into your P3D directory. And you will repeat the exact same process for the moon textures as well. And then lastly, well, not lastly, a few more things to go. The sun and the clouds, these are both through Rex Texture Direct. So for the high mid-level clouds, I use set 4. For the low-level clouds, this is Rex Texture Direct with soft clouds. So I use soft clouds set 23. If you just have soft clouds, I guess that would be set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. If you don't have it with Texture Direct, it should be set 7. But this is what it looks like roughly, so you should have an idea of what set that corresponds to. For the sky textures, I use for the dawn textures, I use set 22, chill. For the day textures, I use set 14, fair skies. And for the dust textures, I use set 3 here, dust. Now all of these are recommended by Adam here. I can't take credit for finding those or anything. These were suggested by Adam. As you can see, Rex Sky Textures, these are the ones he uses, and he seems to have a pretty good grasp of what he's doing. So those are the ones I use, and they look phenomenal in the sim itself. One other thing to mention here is I do use NVIDIA Inspector, and only for one thing really. What I use NVIDIA Inspector for, if I go to my P3D profile, is the frame rate limiter. You'll see a few things here. I also use it for anti-aliasing. I have a separate anti-aliasing tutorial for those of you who may be interested in that. I do use 4x sparse grid supersampling for the anti-aliasing. But if that is something you're trying to figure out, there's a separate anti-aliasing video I've done that explains this. But right, the reason I had opened NVIDIA Inspector, and the primary reason I use it, is this frame rate limiter here. What I do is I set in the simulator, I set my frame rate to unlimited, I turn on vertical sync, and then I limit the frame rate externally with NVIDIA Inspector to 30, and that is what I find gives the smoothest frames per second. This is just personal preference, though. So that kind of hits on the big things now. The last thing I will show you guys is my in-sim settings, since you'll probably want to know those, and that should wrap it up. So I will see you guys in the sim. Alright guys, so as far as the in-sim settings go, I will just briefly jump through the settings here, and you can look at the settings for yourself, and you can pause the video if you want and take note. Some of this will vary, right? Like some of this does not affect visual effects, is what I intend to say there. But yeah, I'll just quickly jump through these. Note what you want, change what you want, experiment, and hopefully this helps you out a bit. So I will say no more. You'll just see the screens quickly pop up, kind of like a slideshow, and I will see you guys next time. I hope this video was helpful. If you have questions or comments, feel free to leave them, and I will see you guys next time. So long.